You're all set, Chairperson.
Thank you, Recording Secretary. This meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom. The public is accessing the meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The subcommittee members and I, along with our city staff and the recording secretary, are in different locations. So please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the meeting. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the March 8th, 2022 School Collaboration City Council Subcommittee regular meeting to order at 12:03 p.m. Will the recording secretary please call roll?
Thank you, Chairperson. Subcommittee member Mendoza.
Present.
Subcommittee member Hernandez.
Present.
Subcommittee member Lopez.
Present.
You have a quorum, Chairperson.
Thank you. Everyone, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. So next of the agenda is time for public comments. Recording secretary, does anyone wish to speak?
Chairperson Lopez, at this time, we do not have any public comments.
Okay, thank you. So next we will move on to the consent calendar. And let me actually pull up my agenda here. So on the consent calendar, we have two items. The first item is the minutes of the regular meeting of February 8th, 2022, and the recommended action is to approve the minutes. And the second item is the excuse absences, and the recommended action is to approve the excuse absences. Council members, subcommittee members, any thoughts on the consent calendar? Well, hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve the consent. Is there a second?
Second. I'll second.
Thank you. There is a motion on the floor. Recording secretary, can we take roll?
Thank you, Chairperson. Subcommittee member Mendoza.
Yes.
Subcommittee member Hernandez.
Yes.
Subcommittee Chairperson Lopez.
Yes. So that was good. That will be the end of the consent calendar. Today we have one item under the business calendar, and I will turn this over to Executive Director Nabil Saba for an update.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, council members. I do have a presentation for you on the well 29 improvements that are planned at the tennis court. So let me share that with you. Let's see. Oops, that's not it. Wonder why I'm sharing this. Do you see my presentation?
I do. It's well 29 improvements.
Yes. So the reason I'm giving this presentation to you is because the well 29 is at the located at the tennis court that is being shared by the city and the school district. So let me go to the next slide. The city of Santa Ana owns and operates well 29, located at the southeast corner of Flower and First Street. The well was constructed in 1982 and pumps directly into an existing 8 million gallon reservoir at the Walnut Station. Due to the age of the well, although it is designed to operate at 2,800 gallons per minute, it is currently operating at 2,000 gallons per minute, indicating a need for an upgrade due to just a natural wear and tear on the equipment. Future improvements at the well include a new architectural features such as a concrete building to house a highly sensitive water production equipment, as well as a perimeter concrete block wall and an iron fence, a drought-tolerant landscaping, a digital billboard, enhanced site security, including surveillance cameras and lights. Future improvements would also include an electrical and mechanical equipment, as well as an enhanced control system. The new site improvement in partnership with the Santa Ana Unified School District include the repurposing of one of the existing tennis courts and upgrading it into 3 pickleball courts. Well 29 construction improvement area is approximately 7,300 square feet. The timeline or the schedule indicates that the well 29 improvement would start in 2022 and be completed by 2023. The total cost of the project is around $4.7 million. This is a site layout of the existing site. Well 29 is in the corner, and what you're looking at here is the entire tennis court complex and the water complex. As you can see, well 29 is in the corner of Flower and First. The pump station is off of Flower in between the tennis courts. And I would like just to add that below the tennis courts, there is a reservoir. There is a 8.5 million gallons of water underneath the tennis courts, which is really interesting. This is the site layout. And as you can see, this is the corner. This is where the well is. And behind it is the tennis courts. Now, the pickleball courts repurposing. This is an aerial view where the proposed well 29 improvement will be. The existing tennis court, which is here, will be upgraded and repurposed for 3 pickleball courts. And this is the change. As you can see, the existing tennis courts will be divided into 3 pickleball courts. The new pickleball courts will measure 60 by 93 feet. And this is a depiction of the well 29 building after construction. This view is from First Street on the corner. This is on the view from Flower Street. This is the driveway into where the well house will be, as you can see, and it will be gated. It will allow for our operators to drive in and not be in the way of traffic when they're going into the facility for maintenance and upkeep. This is a depiction of what the corner would look like. Included in the construction is a digital billboard that will be on the corner, and this digital billboard would be used to, but for educational purposes by the community for now. We may allow, of course, our Parks and Rec department to manage the advertisement and the messaging in partnership with the Santa Ana Unified on the use of the digital billboard. Let's see, next is, I think that's all I have on the construction. I do have an update for you on the, let me stop sharing. We have advertised this project and the bids are due on April 7th. The contract should be awarded in June 2022, and construction would start in August 2022 for a 1-year construction period. The tennis court lights have been added to the project as an alternate, which means the lights would be above the base contract cost. If funding is available to secure the paying for these lights, those lights will be added to the project and will be constructed at the same time frame. So we don't know what the cost of the additional lights will be, but like I mentioned, the addition of the pickleball courts is included in the project. So there's no cost to that, but the lights will be added to the project. So anyway, we're excited about it. We have included design for the lights for the entire complex. That is part of the tennis court system right now has lights, but not all of it. So with this project, or with what we call the Add Ultimate, we would be adding lights to the entire complex, including the pickleball courts and the tennis courts that don't have any lights. But still, the funding for that has not been secured yet. And once we receive the bids on April 7th, we will know exactly what the cost would be for the lights. And that will let you know about the cost and see if we could manage to budget for those and get them built. That concludes my presentation. I'm open for any questions.
Thank you, Director Saba.
Sure.
Subcommittee members, I'll open up the floor for you.
Thank you, Director Saba. Wonderful presentation. I'm a Santa Ana High School alumni, so I've always seen these tennis courts. I had no knowledge that we had water underneath them.
Yep.
I really like the aesthetics and the look of what you presented, Director Nabil.
Awesome.
And I look forward to supporting it.
Great, thank you for that. I'm excited about it because for many years when we would go into that complex, it's a very tight site, and we needed to make it look better for the community and for the workers. So it's going to look nice when it's finished.
As evidenced, it looks beautiful. Well, I'm looking forward to supporting this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Director Nabil.
Hi.
So just to clarify, you mentioned that the lights is going to be for the entire complex and down in the bottom area, right? Because the upper area already had lights.
Yes. There is some tennis courts that already have lights, but the section where we're doing construction does not have lights right now. And
I'm thinking the one tennis court that's going to be left intact, would it be too much of a disruption to also include that as 3 new pickleball courts, just to keep it uniform with the others?
let me see if I can. Do you mind if I share again? Let's see. This is how it would look like. This is the. Do you see my cursor? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. This is the well site, and this is the tennis court that we are repurposing, and we're dividing it into the 3 pickleball courts.
So I'm thinking, since there's going to be construction there already, what would it take to include this other one, the one on the left right there?
This one here?
Yes, to also just go ahead and do 3 pickleball courts. But I mean, and get the funding from somewhere else, of course.
That you okay? I mean, I'm open to that if funding is available, because included in the reconstruction of the pickleball courts here, I believe we're adding a new, all a new concrete and flat surface. If we want to do the same here, that will add to the cost. Yeah, I don't see us just doing striping. Do you envision this being like a striping job or a complete reconstruction?
If we do striping, then we could do, it would only be two courts. Yeah, so that's why I was thinking we could gain one more if we could get funding. I know we have some money available.
I'm not sure when you're saying one more, like a set of three. Is that what you're talking about, or what do you mean by
right? A set of three.
Okay.
A set of three, just like you have on the right-hand side.
Yes. Okay. I'm not really. Yeah. I mean, if that's what you like, and the school district is fine with it, we're okay, because if funding is available, isn't that going to take away from the tennis players' ability to play tennis and less courts for tennis?
No, it doesn't get used, actually. We've been the ones that have been out there putting up temporary temporary pickleball nets. Mm-hmm. And they have those other two down below. And then there's another, I think 8 courts on the upper level. So they are getting used, but not, the upper courts are the ones that are getting used, not these ones down here below.
I see. We can take a look at that and provide you with an estimate once the contract is awarded or so. If it's just the striping, it shouldn't be that much of an investment. But if it is a reconstruction of the surface, then it will be, of course, it will add to the cost, but we can take a look at that.
Okay, maybe we could get 2 different estimates for that.
Sure.
Okay, and the lighting is going to be all new LED lighting?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Is it automatic? Would the public need to request the lights be turned on, or is it something that the public can do there on their own, just turning the knob?
Council member, I don't know how it's managed right now. Whether someone from the school district actually turns the lights on or off. I am not sure. We'll have to find out how it's managed right now. I know where the control panel is, and I'm sure there's a way to access the panel itself and turn on the lights. But we don't manage that. We can talk to the school district and see how they manage it in terms of turning on and off.
That would be great. Maybe even suggest sensor, like motion detectors, so that if people are out there playing, that they would stay on at least till 9 p.m. Or who knows, it might be good to have as a deterrent. If somebody were trying to vandalize the water plant, the lights would come on and scare them off.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe just like what we have at home.
Right.
That the lights come on and the criminals run off. Because we there was some vandalism over at the permanent court area. There was some graffiti against that wall, the wall that the courts share with the water plant.
Oh, this one here. This one.
Right, yeah. Someone left the gate open, or they may have climbed over the gate, and there was some graffitiing on that wall there.
Yeah, Council member, I'm not sure if these type of lights can be on a motion detection, but we'll find out because I'm not sure. We'll have to talk to the electrician about connecting these lights to a motion detection. That may be unique to our
Okay.
site. Sure. We'll
Okay.
take a look at that for you, not a problem.
But it's a good design. I really like that we're going to get that digital board.
Yes.
It'll be productive to advertise city services.
Yep.
I think school services too. COVID information, games. Inviting the public to come and see the Santa Ana High School football games or whatever. It's going to be great. I like it.
Yeah. Thank you.
And hopefully it'll be more protected from the cars running into this corner. I've been there, we've been playing for about a year and we've seen various accidents at this corner. It's the traffic goes by quickly. They're just not paying attention, and hopefully we can somehow avoid some of that in the future. The timing of the lights, maybe. Okay. I don't have any other questions for this project.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, council members, and thank you, Director Saba. Can you please go back to the design, the front-facing design?
Oh, sorry. What do you like to see?
That one, yeah, that one.
This one here?
Yeah, it's the design work looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. And thank you for making sure that our water infrastructure is being improved. It's needed and it's very much appreciated.
Sure.
But I did want to ask you, how did we decide on pickleball?
What has happened is, let me go back to this design here.
Mm-hmm.
When I want to say about a few years ago, we reconstructed the Walnut pumping station itself. And there is a new building that we built on Walnut Street. And during the construction, actually during the design of the pumping station, we connected with the tennis coach at the Santa Ana High School. And this area where my cursor is, we talked to him, and specifically he wanted a hitting wall because he knew that the perimeter of our pumping station wall would be here. And he wanted a hitting wall on this side of the tennis courts, so his students would practice playing tennis in this area, because it was not being used for anything. So we built this tennis area or this flat surface area to be a hitting wall. And then this area was converted to a pickleball court of that size. And when we were proposing to do work on our well 29, the request from the school was to convert one of the sites or one of the tennis courts to a pickleball courts in this location. And that's what we have done.
Okay, so it came from the school district.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chairwoman, the superintendent and the school district is in talks right now with Santa Ana First, the nonprofit organization that provides tennis, free tennis lessons, and now starting with pickleball. So they're working in conjunction to bring the pickleball game to the PE classes. So they're expanding their physical education program to include pickleball, since it's been so popular. and they're bringing it to the high schools. And the nonprofit organization will be providing the training and have even donated some the temporary nets and balls and paddles. So they've been really active in providing this to the school district. And I'm glad to see that these courts are finally being used after so many years of being vacant.
Thank you, Subcommittee Member Mendoza. And I was asking that question because, as the subcommittee member just said, there's a lot of space that we build sometimes in a time era or in a moment in time because something's popular, and then that popularity phases, and then we're left with space that is unused, like some of the tennis courts in our communities. And so I wanted to make sure I understood why pickleball specifically was being brought in, because I don't know anyone that plays pickleball, or that most people ask me what pickleball is. And so I just want to make sure that when we're planning, we're, for the future, that we're making sure that the space that we're using is something that is versatile and that, almost like basketball. Basketball has really proven itself over time, and it's a sport that people love and use consistently, daily, day in and night. And I just don't know that this is going to be that, and that this space is going to be used 24/7. But if the school district is, if this is something that they have said that they need for their students, then I am sure that they know that need better than I do at this point. So that was the root of my question, Director Saba. And so I wanted to also talk to you about the design, because I think it's, if we could go back to the design page.
This one?
The other one, please. Yes. So as I said, I think it's beautiful, but as one of the subcommittee members mentioned, there's a high rate of collisions in that intersection. And so I don't know if having a digital board there is going to add to that distraction and create higher impacts, car collisions, I should say. So I don't know at this moment if that is the best place for a digital board. I would actually like to see, I would actually like to see a digital board be placed maybe in one of the.
Sorry, we lost you.
I also wanted to know if okay, sorry, I got a message saying my connection was disabled. So I also, the wall that I see there,
Yes.
would it be possible to make that into fencing, or are you trying to kind of keep the wells in-house?
Well, to give you a background, council member, is we actually had a vehicle drive into our chlorination facility that was on the site, and rendered the well out of service for a couple of years before we got it back. So we don't want to go back with steel fencing or chain link fencing. We want to go back with a wall like this because we want to protect the asset. So if someone drives into this wall, they're going to drive into this wall just like they've done before. But we want to go back with a wall like this, something that would prevent or actually protect the well and the equipment that is on site. That being said, the digital billboard, we can have our traffic engineers take a look at the distraction element of having a digital billboard on site. The reason we put the digital billboard on this site is because the Santa Ana Unified School District, as you will see, if you take a closer look at that use of the corner, they always have banners advertising their activities, their programs all throughout the year on that corner. So we thought that corner is very valuable to not only the city, but the Santa Ana Unified for their programming, and they use it very well. So to offer an enhanced service, we wanted to, offer this digital billboard for their use and city use. So by the way, the management of the billboard itself has not yet been decided on who's going to take the lead. But I'm thinking here that our Parks and Rec department would take the lead, just like how they manage others, like the one at the stadium, manage this one for the city. And if the school district wanted to use it, they would use that. I know you're concerned about the location of it. We can probably revisit that with our traffic engineers.
Thank you.
Sure.
So remind me, the funding for the billboard, is that coming from the school district?
No, it's part of the project. It's part of the water project.
Okay.
Yes. But again, we're the community, and we're envisioning that the school district would have a use in the digital billboard itself. So.
Okay, got it. So thank you for answering my question about the wall. That makes a lot of sense. And I'm not gonna, I don't want to hesitate on supporting it, especially if you want to protect that asset. And we had a history of, cars running into it. That makes sense. I do think that maybe we should think about how we make that space less attracted to folks so that it becomes a wall of just tagging. So maybe putting some trees along there, that would be great.
Sure.
Something so that it's not just a bare wall that, is gonna just be tagged consistently, and that becomes an economic issue for the city at that point.
I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. So, and then that entrance right there, that's going to be gated, is it not?
Yes.
Okay.
It has to be, because it's secured. It needs to be secured. It will be an electronic gate working on a remote for the workers to click it to open, and then they would drive into the complex. There is area for them to park, and this here. And this building itself will house the wellhead, the control equipments, the water, the electric distribution systems, and many other, equipment to run the well.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
And I was just thinking, when I said about planting trees, maybe that could just be a wall that the city works with artists to maybe do a mural there and spray some anti-graffiti on it. Something that way it's not so plain, the beige walls.
Sorry.
I see that Subcommittee
Here.
Member Hernandez has his hand up. So Subcommittee Member Hernandez.
Thank you, Chair Lopez. I'm really happy that we're having this conversation. Director Saba, it was something that slipped my mind, but during my time at Santa Ana High School, my colleagues are right. There were many accidents on that corner. So I do have concerns about the digital board. I do want to also make it clear that I want to see us utilize the digital board. Maybe it's just a matter of finding a better placed location where it isn't going to be at risk of getting damaged due to any potential collisions or accidents. And as far as the gate, is the gate that you just showed us right now for well 29, is that on the side of Walnut? So would this be Walnut? Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is a side of Flower.
Okay, so this is the Flower side towards First Street?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And this is gated?
It will be gated. It'll have to be, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Subcommittee Member. Okay, so I think those were my concerns, Director Saba, with the initial rendering. I don't know if we need to have a second rendering, but I will leave that up to the subcommittee members and for you to discuss.
I'm open if you would like to see the rendering with some ivy on the walls just for protection of graffiti. at this level here. We've done that and it has worked. In fact, the pump station on the other side on Walnut Street has been there for a while, and we have been lucky that it has not been tagged severely. Everything in the city gets tagged, by the way, but it's a constant battle for us, unfortunately. But we will have ivy, artificial or natural, to be put on this wall here to protect it from being tagged.
Okay. Yeah, I am interested in seeing what that would look like. So if the subcommittee members would indulge me in that, I would be appreciated.
Sure.
Appreciated. So if there are no other comments, we can end the business calendar. The recommended action was to receive and file subcommittee members, but if we want to see a rendering with some sort of greenery on the wall, let us know now.
I'm sorry, it looks like the audio cut out.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Got it. So I was saying that the recommended action is a receive and file, but if we're interested in seeing a second rendering with some of the ideas we exchanged today with the greenery, or a different a rendering without the digital billboard, let Director Saba know now.
Yeah, I would like to see a second rendering be brought back to us, Director Saba.
Sure.
With the digital billboard in a different location. I do really like the utilization of the digital billboard. In a second rendering, I would like to see a proposed different location of that.
Okay.
So that will be my motion.
Will do.
Thank you. And I'll second that for because I am interested in seeing a second rendering.
Will do.
So that was more of a direction to you, Director Saba. I don't know if recording secretary, we need to necessarily take role for that.
Thank you, Chairperson. At this point in time, it's just direction that was provided to Director Saba.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. I appreciate that. So this brings us to the end of our business calendar. The next regular meeting, so we'll move into the subcommittee members' comments. So Subcommittee Member Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I'm really glad to see that this project is making progress. We've had a lot of interest in getting more pickleball going and filling up the tennis courts with those people who like to play tennis. So I hope we can get you out there and experience what it's like, so that you can explain what pickleball is to the people who don't know. And at the same time, I like that the plant is getting protected, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility for water pumping station. And let's see, I invite all of you to come out on Saturdays between 8 and noon to the Walnut Water Station area. That's where the main hub of the pickleball has been the past year. But there are other places that are starting it throughout Santa Ana. But happy to work with in collaboration with the school district and taking care of this facility. So great job.
Thank you, Subcommittee Member Mendoza. Subcommittee Member Hernandez.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you, Director Saba, fantastic presentation per usual. Thank you to the staff that helped make sure that this meeting went well. And thank you to Daniel and my colleagues for their time and for their commitment to the school subcommittee. Thank you.
Thank you, Subcommittee Member Hernandez. Again, staff, thank you. That was a really beautiful presentation, Bill. I'm sure that took a lot of work from your staff's end, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for being open to the feedback that we just had. Daniel, thank you for your support. Recording Secretary, thank you for keeping me on track here. And that is going to conclude today's meeting. The next regular meeting will take place on April 8th, 2022 at 12 p.m. We will be adjourning today at 12:43 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Happy Women's International Day.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.